कौन बनेगा JavaScript developer? So guys, here in this video we are going to learn about how JavaScript code, what happens to our JavaScript code when it is executed. Okay, what happens behind the scene, how our functions code works in the global execution context. Okay, so what exactly happens in the GEC in global execution context? Okay, so what exactly is a global execution context? Okay, so every JavaScript code executes in the global execution context. Okay, so every JavaScript code executes in the global execution context. Okay, so even our functions. Okay, so even our functions. Okay, so in this video we are going to learn about what exactly happens to our functions. Okay, so first let's write our code. Okay, so like suppose we have this variable one, and then let's console.log this x. Okay, so now let's make this two functions. First is a, and then okay, so this also have a variable x, which is 10, and then just console.log this x. Okay, um, and then we have another function called b. Okay, this also have a variable x, which is 100. Okay, and then console.log this. Okay, so now we will evoke this two functions before this console.log x. Okay, before okay, so okay, e, and then this b. Okay, so now what will happen is first we got this function. Okay, first we got this a. Okay, which is for where x equals to 10. Okay, so first we got this 10. Okay, then we got this 100. Okay, then we got this 100, and then after in the last we got this where x, which is executed after this a and b function execution. Okay, so, at the end we got this one. Okay, so like what is happening here? Okay, like let's see this. Okay, phew. So how this global execution context exactly look alike? Okay, so first let's copy this, paste it over here. uh, okay, so first write it over there. Okay, now how our global execution context to look like? Okay, let's see this. So this is a box, okay, in which we have two tabs. Okay, two tabs. First is memory. First we have memory, and then second we have this code. Okay, so this is the tab where our code runs, and this is the memory where our variables and functions get saved. Okay, so what exactly happens? Okay, so even before executing our code, okay, even before executing our code, these all the variables or the functions get saved in the in this memory tab. Okay, so okay, so x is saved as undefined. Okay, undefined. And how these function get saved? Okay, so functions are get saved as the so this whole function. Okay, like for a, this whole function will get saved in the memory tab. Okay, so let's okay, so this whole function, whatever comes inside this will get saved in the memory tab. And for b also, the whole function will get saved in the memory tab. Okay, and then we have no variables out for after this. Okay, so this is all we have in the memory tab. And then what exactly happens in the code? Okay, so this is the phase one. Okay, even before executing the code, the variables or the functions get saved here. Okay, so in the phase two, okay, the where the code executes. Okay, so what happens there? Okay, let's write this. Okay, so our first line is this, where x equals to 1. Okay, so our first line where x equals to 1. Okay, so now this first line has been executed. Okay, so what it does declare, which is x equals to 1. Okay, so in here x will be updated to 1. Okay, x will get a new value which is 1. Okay, like after this code executions happen. Okay, so now we save this. Okay, now move forward to this second line. Okay, now move forward to the second line. Okay, so what exactly happens here? Okay, so for every function, a new execution context inside the global execution context is created. Okay, so like now we have this new function invocation. Okay, so now we have to create a new execution context. Okay, like same as the before, the global execution context. Okay, okay, so now create this. We have a memory over here, and then we have this code over here. Okay, so now we have to jump into this function a. Okay, so now this is execution context for this function only. Okay, and nothing more than this. Okay, so this execution context is only for this function a. Okay, now a new context will be created for this b function also, but first we have to create this. Okay, first we have to invoke this function. Okay, so we have one variable over here. Okay, so first we have to type this over here. Okay, so in the memory. Okay, in the memory, x which is undefined even before executing the code. Okay, so this is the phase one. Okay, like the code is still not has been executed. Okay, so in the phase two, uh, in the phase 2 where the code is executed. Okay, so now we know that x equals to 10. Okay, so now the code has been executed, and what defines which defines that x equals to 10. Okay, so in we will go again back to this memory tab. Okay, so now this x will get a new value which is 10. Okay, now the second line will be run. Okay, so which is console.log x. Okay, console.log x, and what value it got here? Okay, it got this 10. Okay, so now this will target this memory value. Okay, so now this 10 will be invoked here. Okay, and then into our console, this console. Okay, let's suppose this is the console. Okay, okay, into our console, it will be right over okay, so 10 will be right over this. Okay, so like in the terminal. Okay, so 10 is written first. Okay, so like this we got the 10 as the first one. Okay, so now this function is completed. Okay, so like immediately after the function completion, okay, this whole execution context will be deleted. Okay, will be deleted from the global execution. Okay, so let's delete this. Okay, so now a new okay, so now this a is completed. Okay, then after we have to forward to this b function execution. Okay, so now a new, like, okay, let me type this over here. Okay, so now we have this b. Okay, b. Okay, so a new wait a second. Hmm. So a new function invocation is now made for this b function. Okay, sorry, global context. Okay, so now okay, so now we got this memory. I got this memory with this code over here. Okay, so now what exactly happened for this also, the variable gets saved. Okay, so the variable in the first place is undefined. Okay, undefined. Nice. Okay, so variable is undefined, and then when the code executes, okay, so now the code executes, so the x will be 100. Okay, so now x will be 100. Okay, so this value will be forward to this memory tab, and the undefined will be changed to 100. Okay, so now get back to our code, and then there is console.log, which is x. Okay, so now this console.log will happen. Okay, so after this 10, okay, 100 will be type over here to our console. Okay, so now this function is also done. Okay, so this function is also done. Where x was saved into the memory. Okay, a function is done, b function is also done. Now let's forward to this console.log x. Okay, so this b function is also done. Now we can delete this. Okay, delete this. Okay, so now console.log x will be happen. Okay, so now what is this console.log x? Okay, this function, this code will be redirected to this x. Okay, like all the values before. Okay, all the values before, like for this a, the execution context is deleted. Okay, and for b also the global execution context is deleted. Okay, so now we have left with only this x. Okay, so JavaScript will not confuse itself. Okay, the two before we have this variable x are deleted now, so we have only this x. Okay, so this will be targeted to this only. Okay, so now this console.log happen. Okay, which is 1. Okay, which is 1. Okay, so this will be type over here. Okay, so now this whole function is done. So mm, this thing also will be deleted. Okay, so okay, so they, and now there is nothing left. Okay, what we have left with our results, which is 10, 100 and 1. Okay, so what we got in the tab, 10, 100 and 1. Okay, so this is how the functions or our code works behind the scenes. Okay.